go live. We're live. It says you're live. Hi, everybody.
But is it true?
No, it's actually delayed. I think.
Oh.
They don't realize it though. I do if I have to like watch something on there.
Okay, Stuart. Hi, Stuart.
Hi.
Hi.
Long time no see.
What day is it?
Wednesday. Holy shit.
Already almost near. Prodigy again. Dear me.
Yeah.
As if it's every week. And given that new trailer, it's going to escalate real quick. Unless that's the last, like,
What new
scene.
trailer?
You know, the one that's sort of out there, but sort of not.
Oh, yes. Yeah.
They're not actually released, yet still released. Don't look at it if you don't want to spoil yourself, but that's not my job. So, my job is the reverse of that. Plus,
Matt Boardman says, so would the delay be considered time travel? Yes.
Well, it is funny. I have many a time said something, said goodbye, gone downstairs, grabbed a drink, and heard on the morning downstairs me saying, hey, goodbye. So I have actively heard myself talk in the past, in the present. So, yes. You know. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, if something were to happen dramatically, Stuart, they would not know until the future. Of a few seconds, but still.
Yes.
Yes. And what a great segue as well. Boy. Time travel. What sort of... What would you call this thing that we're staring at on our thumbnail? If you had to put a word to it, or two words in fact, that's a powerful name, a phrase that really resonates with the audience that would get lots of views.
A temporal distortion.
Shit.
A temporal... Strangity. Just your brain hurt.
Say the thing, Stuart. Say the thing.
Did you know that?
A time anomaly.
My hell's heart, I stab at thee. I stab.
Temporal anomaly.
Ah!
The release.
Yes. They say it occasionally. It's not as if they never said it. But yes, of course, temporal anomaly. Every time you hear it, I get nice vibes of my fan film that came out a couple of years ago now. They said temporal anomaly. I was in it, and they say it in the film as well, I believe. I think. But they must do. Yes, yeah.
I don't know. You wrote it, directed it, filmed it, edited it. You should know how many times they say it. Just saying.
Yes, but it is also a case of I filmed it, and this is, you know, the longer I live, the more I relate to people from the shows that we all expect to know things. If you worked on a show 50 years ago, and yes, you ask about it all the time at conventions to remind yourself, but if you asked about a video we did 8 years ago, or a film that I directed, yes, I spent thousands of hours on, 10 years ago next year, I don't remember everything about it, and I did everything about it. So,
oh, that's the fun. That's the fun thing about being in this business, because people message me saying, "Love the video you guys did today," and I'm like, This was not so much now because it's like last week we filmed it, but like when we were doing our ship stuff. Love the video you released. Oh, I filmed that like 4 months ago. I have no idea what we even said.
Yep.
And I haven't gone back to rewatch it.
Nope. Yep. Neither have I. Yeah. It's pretty.
But even going back to last week, I don't remember what the hell I said. So.
Well,
but there are a few moments that stand out over the course of 8 years, though, that are like, that was awesome.
We sort of live in the moment. I have to kind of reset to the next episode as soon as the last one passes. So it's very much in the moment sort of show. But it's funny, temporally, when I was doing the blooper reel a couple of years ago, which already a couple of years after the film had come out, a couple of years after I already edited it, I was watching some clips and entirely forgot about a deleted scene that I hadn't watched again in 9.5 years, pretty much. I was like, the scene continues?
That's great.
I don't remember this at all. I mean, I do remember it, but I really don't remember enough. Like, if you'd told me that's alternate universe footage, I would have believed you. It was so strange to watch. And I realised why I deleted it as well, because it was unnecessarily referential.
I was just going to ask that, if you remember why you cut it. Yeah.
I assume that's what I thought. I don't remember. It was so early on I must have taken it out. But there was some silly like for me, like it doesn't make sense. Silly over the top reference to a thing, to a past event. That's like this is just bogging down the scene. Yeah, weird just to see like new old. And it's only 10 years ago, and I already forgot I filmed it. Again, you feel sorry for now asking people who worked on the shows things. You know, things.
Well, yes and no. I mean, it's not like Trekyards is ingrained in the public consciousness and pop culture. So I mean, if your show is that, you should probably refresh yourself on stuff once in a while. Just saying. So we have an excuse. They don't, in my opinion. But anyway.
Yeah, I'm gonna start sharing then.
Yes, please do. Welcome back, guys. Hit that like button if you haven't already. 27 of you here, 17 likes. That is awesome, but we can do better. Hit that like button if you're one of the ones that has not hit it yet. Today we're going to be talking about the Diviner and the Vindicator's time travel plot, or the Solemn time travel plot kind of reveal, and we're going to talk about what that means, where the hell Chakotay, when the hell Chakotay is, things like that. So should be a good discussion. Yeah, hit that like button. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. Double check that because sometimes YouTube just removes people from channels. Make sure the notification bell icon is hit because we do release. Turn on your translators so you can understand what the hell I'm saying. Because we do release a lot of content, edited and otherwise, such as this live. So you don't want to miss any of that. So make sure your notification bell is clicked to all. That would be a good step. I'm just saying. You can also help us on the channel by joining the channel. Sergeant Montgomery just got his 2-year badge for being a member of the channel for 2 years, which is amazing. Seems way too long. Doesn't seem like it's been that long since the join thing was a thing, but apparently it is. So time travel. So anyway, if you join the channel, it's like a monthly subscription amount, and it helps us out immensely. So please do so. It also helps out the algorithm. Shows YouTube that you guys care about the channel enough to want to join and pay on a monthly basis for that. So it helps us out in the algorithms apparently, although it doesn't, but whatever. Or head on over to Patreon/Trekyard. Trekyards is another way to do it. And also down in the description of every video, there are links to our Teespring and our TeePublic store where you can grab yourself some really cool Trekyards merch. We have a lot of great shirts and stuff, and we need to make more. Yes, I know. We have a list of things we need to do for that. We just got to find the time to do so. But there will be new merch coming at some point. But by all means, Christmas time is just around the corner. I think if you order from TeePublic now, you can get stuff by Christmas. So check it out. If there's anybody in your life that likes Trekyards, probably not. But if there is, beside yourself, order them something, or just tell your significant other. You know, that YouTube show I watch. They got some really good shirts. Here's a link. You can go buy it and get it by Christmas. I'm just saying. Trekyards shirts for the win. So, if you can, please do so. Help us out in any way you can. It all means a lot. And now that Samuel's back. Yay.
Hello.
Start discussing.
Yes. It was an episode, Stuart. We learned things.
We learned quite a few things, actually. And usually when we learn something, it opens up more questions. This answered a lot of questions and didn't open up too many new ones. So I kind of like the feel of it, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, it kind of cleared the path. There was shrubbery kind of shrouding it mystery. You know, the big, how did he go back and when? Mm-hmm. But they've hit many birds with one stone in that respect.
Yeah, we still have a gaping question of when Chakotay is, when and where. If he's grown old at this point, if they find him in modern times and he's much older, if they have to go back in time to rescue him, is he being held a prisoner somewhere? What's going on with him and his crew? So that's still a thing, but.
Yeah, I mean, that's the big question. Given that he escaped once in the future, it'd be daft to think he didn't escape again, and given that all the revs and all the ships and all the people left, of all the times he could escape, it would be then. I mean, it depends whether is the big story in Prodigy actually about saving Chakotay in the future, or is he then, there are ways of time traveling that are accessible. If he's also, maybe he does find the Federation in the 2380s, I think we said. No, 2480s, whatever. Potentially is when it's set to Does he find the Federation and they help him go back in time to change things? Is there temporal negativity on that? Does he slingshot? Does he find some other Borg way? Are we, like I said, we're going to find old Chakotay who laments it took him 60 years to find a way back? Or is he going to find a fresh Chakotay? Did he escape again earlier that we know? You know, is it an alternate timeline, so does it even matter? You know, I'd be surprised if the entire story of Prodigy is to undo the story of Prodigy. That seems unlikely. So...
yeah.
And if we're killing Chakotay by saying, look, you know, he's lost an alternate universe in the future. Oh, thanks, Rob Beltran, you win 2 scenes.
That would be bad.
Real bad. Real bad.
Just saying. Yeah. Yeah, so if he does find Starfleet in the future that he's in, they probably have some kind of time travel tech at that point. Possibly. Maybe he'll show up on one of the Wells class ships.
Well, they're only, like I say before, they're in the late 2400s. I mean, they're not going to be time travel yet. That's not going to enter J time. They find him on the J.
No, that would be bad.
Yeah. Because you would think that once Janeway knows about this, she's not going to say, oh, well, he's stuck in an alternate timeline future. Let's ignore him and rescue him. That's going to be the idea, right?
I've screwed up the timeline once already. Let's go back and save him this time and mess up everything up to this point again.
Or do you go back and stop him from leaving in the first place?
Oh, wow.
Because
that unravels too much.
Yes, but we know time moments do continue, a la Tasha Yar. So everyone back in the past would still be here. It would just undo the horror of Solom. Well, no, it would only undo the finding the Protostar to make the horror of the present. So what's the real story of Prodigy, you know? Because they almost should have killed Chakotay and blown him up to try and save the day and say, wow, he did his job to try and save and died, and leaving him there as a massive loose end is like, well, that's hugely temporally confusing.
Sounds to me like one of the solutions to the problem would be to tell General to go back and do a second contact with Solom, check on how they're doing, help get an ambassador in there to kind of, mediate both sides of the dispute, so that they don't look like the bad guys in the whole situation. I mean,
that would be the easy solution for the. Yeah, at the very least they can save this timeline by either not first contacting or second contacting. But just like with the,
I think second contacting would be the better way.
Yes, but you really need to first contact them. I guess if you know you first contact them, then you know what the action is. If you skip that, then someone's gonna make it worse. I guess you could argue, but it reminds me of like with the, because it's a thing in the future, right? It hasn't happened yet for another while, but we know that when they tried to send messages back to the Romulan guy, in theory that should be an easy way of saying, oh, he lived, he sent messages forward. But if they say yes, in 3 years we should do a second contact, anything can happen between then and now to make that a problem. So it's fine to say they did it, but you know what I mean, until we know it and see it, how do you feel it?
Yeah. Starfleet needs to step up their second contact game, is all I'm saying. The Dark Lord Revan throws in $5. Only Michael Burnham will be able to save Chakotay, but we'll take her an entire season, and no one else can possibly help.
I mean, the Red Angel suit would be an easy win.
Well, do we really want to hitch our Prodigy wagon onto a Discovery thing? Not really.
It's fine. She'll just turn up. She'll be one of the red things we never saw, and she'll fix the problem. And there we go. Easy, Stuart.
Joseph makes a good point. Or have Gwen go back and be the Federation ambassador. Ooh, yeah. Have the kids attend Starfleet. Have her learn about, everything about Starfleet and go back as one of them to be the ambassador. Send her back in time. So that her world doesn't tear itself apart. Sure. I mean, then it'll almost look like brainwashing from some of them. At least one side will be like, you're you're in bed with Starfleet, so why are we going to believe anything you say? But it would soften the blow to have her do it for sure, because she's one of them. So.
And Sergeant Montgomery asks, was there an exact year Chakotay is mentioned? No. They're very explicit and they just say, decades later and decades later.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a good thing, though. To keep it very vague allows them the creative freedom, allows us a discussion. If you know the exact date, it's like, okay, we've got 12 years to solve him, to fix him. And already you alluded to at the start, you know, knowing it kind of takes away the mystery. So at least there's that still, you know?
Joshua 11345 is in $5. Would you like to see any other Voyager cast members show up for a cameo? Yes. That's a silly question.
All of them.
Yes. People have already complained that B'Elanna wasn't in it, helping develop the Protostar and being on the crew, and I would have been kind of fine with her being on the crew and helping out Chakotay.
You don't know she wasn't on the crew?
Well, I don't know that. You're absolutely right.
The crew abandoned ship and escape pods when they got taken, and only him and Bird Person went to the future. She could be on the crew.
Yeah.
They haven't mentioned her, but Jamie lost all her knowledge of the ship's mission, so that might honestly be we couldn't afford her until season 2. Then she'll be in flashbacks in season 2.
And I'm fine with that.
I'm fine with that, yeah.
But yeah, any Voyager people showing up would be very welcome. Anybody showing up. Voyager DS9 don't really care. Just bring back the people you have around that are alive before they die.
Well, and also the newer casts sound the more like themselves. So yeah, for sure. B'Elanna and Seven as a duo. I mean, you could probably. I mean, I think you could retcon it gently. It's so early compared to Picard that yes, they fucked up Jerry's. You know, oh no, hates Starfleet. Blah blah. This is before that, so you can have a bit of flexibility of well, she didn't join Starfleet, but she still worked with them. Friendly. So you can absolutely do that right now. They're in a good time to do that. I've also joked about being Picard back would be cute. You know, who signed on the mission, etc.
Mech 1164 says, "Where the heck is Tuvok?" He would be a great one to include also.
Yeah.
Special projects or something that could definitely help with this situation for sure.
Yeah, I mean, I would assume that they've got a multi-year cast plan for if they get more seasons, they would bring in people, because you would assume, just like Kirk, the people you'd pick would be the people you really trust. And in fact, that's going to be Picard season 3, isn't it? You trust these guys the most, therefore. And so at some point there'll be a thing that needs, well, I trust them explicitly. Here's Tuvok. Yeah, he's the obvious choice to come back, especially as not necessarily a dodge way, just Captain, there's a new ship coming in. What cost is it? We don't know. Vroom. It's, Tuvok, etc.
Dan says, does that include Kes? No, I personally don't like Kes as a character, but with her power, I mean, if she's still around somehow, maybe she could help them as well.
I mean, I'd be fine with a Kes inclusion. I don't know if she's legally an actor anymore, but I would, that at least a nod to it. You know, they could have. I mean, they have such short episodes, but you could easily have a scene where it talks about seeing Kes 5 years ago, before she was dying. She came home to see whoever. Although Neelix is an obvious
one.
Would
be great.
He's in the Delta Quadrant. He's doing his thing.
He could be the ambassador for Solomon.
Yeah.
He was kind of a wayward soul that got to trust Janeway and her crew, and it would be, it's a natural inclusion to bring him back in some form, even if just deal with the kids. Any Voyager people can come back, in my opinion.
He's in the Delta Quadrant, but this is obviously a Voyager Gentle S spin-off. Although it's funny, they instantly left the Delta Quadrant, so that's not to say they aren't. And in fact, it's the only because Discovery in theory could have done this, but didn't really do it. Picard can't. We've had a Delta Quadrant, a Gamma Quadrant, an Alpha Quadrant, well, Beta, but that realm. In one damn show, we haven't questioned it. That's impressive of a show to get that right. Because to have Kazon and Klingons interacting, and Romulans, Kazon, Klingons, and Romulans, 2 episodes apart, that's really impressive. And it feels so natural, and that shows the well-executed story. Because, boy, that is, we don't just like them for them's sake. And they earned that, and they achieved it, and good job for them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mech says having B'Elanna work with Jenkin Bog would be a fun interaction. Absolutely. The whole percussive maintenance thing. Why are you hitting that?
Best way to fix it, yeah. Because you've got to imagine that they were given a lot of money, and I would assume they'd overspend in the first, say, 5 to kind of grab people. Not to say the budget's feeling less now, but they're doing more new things. The budget doesn't feel like it's stretching as far.
That always happens, though. Even in TNG, the middle episodes tend to get one two-parter that's expensive, and then near the end of the season, again, it ramps up.
Well, yeah, assuming that space battle that we've now seen bits of, which looks absolutely incredible, is last 2 episodes, then that is going to be a heavy dose of budget. Just for animation time, it's easy. I mean, they're very light on ship scenes, really. So they're going to have a lot more, and they're going to be quite expensive. So, yeah. I wonder if that's why as well.
Saying, they need redemption for each ep. I can probably safely say that I don't think his character or Manu will be coming back.
Such a shame. Great character. Yes.
Absolutely.
Okay, so what is the Prodigy time travel plot? Lay it out for the audience in a simple way, Stuart, just so everyone knows.
All right. After the first contact of Solom by a Prometheus class Upside Down, there's rival forces on Solom, some that embrace the bold new worlds, exploring vibe of the Federation, other ones that say they just need to, isolationists, basically. Just, we're fine the way we were. Creates a bit of a civil war. Decades later, Protostar shows up, and I assume the Civil War has been going on the whole time. I don't know if Protostar's arrival actually ramped things up or not, but regardless, the people of Solom basically think they're going to use that ship to solve their problem. So they capture the crew, they capture the ship, and they install their last alien, or their last construct, as a weapon on board to destroy all of Starfleet before first contact ever happened. So they're going to send the ship through this temporal anomaly, ding, 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 to destroy Starfleet before the full first contact thing. Anyway, Chakotay kind of nixes that plan, launches the Protostar without anybody on board, and so they have to send the last remaining ships of their fleet, 100 Revs. So, that there's the Rev 12, the Rev 11, Rev 13 kind of thing. Launches all of those into the temporal anomaly to find the Protostar and actually continue to execute this plan. Meanwhile, the temporal anomaly basically collapses and destroys most of the Revs. The Diviner and at least the Vindicator got through. Who knows if any others did? They might have been spun off into different areas of the timeline. And their plan was to basically find the Protostar and send it back in time to prevent first contact. So that's their goal, to find the Protostar.
And of course, do many murders is also their plan.
Well, yeah.
It isn't just that, yeah. But it's interesting because the first question, starting at the start, is that the way they present Solom is people in robes, but you can be space robes. Are they a warp-capable species with a genuine first contact? Or are they a TNG level thing causes thing equals hello? Because that, I would assume they are, but if it's been 40 years since first contact, they make ships to kill, wormhole. That you could develop in 40 years if the whole people are coming together to do whatever. If they're all capable, where does that leave you as well? Hey, Trekyards.
Yeah, the whole circumstances around first contact are very up in the air right now. Why was it made? Why was it a Prometheus class? What did they detect something? Was it accidental? Yeah. Was it deliberate? So we still don't know the answer to that. Looking at the city that he showed Gwen on the holodeck, seemed pretty advanced.
Yes,
like pretty advanced technology as far as buildings go. So one can assume that they were happy, like they maybe had invented warp-capable ships to travel within their solar system or something, but had no outward expansion plans, no sense of exploration, didn't want to leave their system.
Or they could have and just not. First contact, if they're in the Delta Quadrant, they don't have like 10 ships in the Delta Quadrant just chilling, so maybe they're already warp-capable for 10 years, were not very far-reaching. How long do we have Warp 1 and barely do anything? So they could be that far along. Maybe they literally bumped into one of our ships and we said, hey.
Yeah.
Maybe.
And Jay Donaldson says, "Are we sure the Revs were destroyed, or were they sent far back into the past?" Yeah, we don't know. That's what I'm saying. It seems from the story that the Diviner thought they were all destroyed. Then he found the what's her name, Vindicator. So one of them escaped. Yeah, my theory was that as it was collapsing, it was just chucking them different times as it collapsed. So they could show up at any time in the future or the past. Who knows? Who knows what's going on with that?
Yeah, again, they're leaving it vague on purpose. It certainly implied some were destroyed, but some of 100 is still not 100. But the issue with having, let's say, 20, which is quite reasonably small, all throughout time, each one is now a fully functional Warp 9 point something spacecraft because they have to keep up Protostar. Very advanced weapons, beaming technology, replicators, etc.
Cloning technology as well.
Cloning technology, yeah. And
Cybertronian technology with the dreadnoughts.
Yes, and the little robot Seeker as well. Like really, really advanced. Yeah. Them ending up anywhere in the galaxy, at least one is to be found by somebody from with a dead crew and then taken into the future. So it's a really bold and risky thing to say that. Like lots of them appeared.
Well, that happens in the game Supernova, which there is another Rev that crashed and the Dreadnought survived. So. Yeah. Joshua 11345 throws in $2.
Thank you.
And Harry Kim is still an ensign. Bring Harry Kim back.
Yeah.
Maybe like you kids will be able to relate to him. He's just an ensign. It's fine. He'll get a promotion as a result of helping the kids.
I mean, I'm definitely of a sort that. I mean, that's been a joke obviously for 20 years now, give or take, or. I feel like certainly one of these shows will have to do it, but bring it back in a meaningful way.
Yeah.
You know, if you're going to bring Garrett back, honestly, he's got to be... If this is me, I'd have Janeway signal a ship to help. It's Commander Kim, who's second in command of another high-end ship, maybe a Sovereign or Galaxy or something of the ilk. He walks him in to help. And his captain's killed in the battle with whatever, and then he takes over. Hey, he might be in the space battle in the season.
Field command.
Yeah.
Field commission to captain.
I mean, making him captain in the show for the first time would be very apt. Even if he lost his own captain, that would be very logical. Very sad, true. And he stays captain for the season. He's entirely capable. I mean, that would be thematically quite powerful.
Get rid of all these Ensign Kim jokes that people have been making for decades.
But if you're the show that gets to make him captain, that's a good thing to say for canon.
Well, I mean, Voyager did that.
Yeah, but that got erased, Stuart.
I know it did. This could get erased too. We still got time travel shenanigans going on. So.
Yeah, but it's the present though. The present doesn't tend to get erased. Only the future. We know that the Diviner stuff's gonna be erased probably, but not this present. Now back to what you said. I forgot to address it about Gwen being the first contact lady, like reversing. Now were you thinking as in she takes a long way around, where she lives her entire life and then meets. You're right, okay.
Yeah, so all through Starfleet Academy training, serves some time, becomes an ambassador, kind of goes that route.
So I feel like if you suddenly saw a random your race on the incoming planet, you'd be like,
yep.
But I think I don't now having seen the canon, the vibe, I don't agree. But I know that they were hinting massively, as in whenever people brought it up, the writers were saying, well, Starfleet sent 3 ships to go find Voyager the slow way. And they implied it was one of the 3 ships. However, that can't be true because they said that's a Prometheus. The first of the Prometheus class is the Prometheus.
Message in a bottle.
To suddenly retcon and say there was a pre-Prometheus that was so experimental that it was chosen to be sent to the Delta Quadrant by itself, and it's not an NX either, doesn't work at all. So that has to be that cannot be those first 3. It has to be a post-Prometheus ship, which means it's later, which means it's later. Yeah.
What season was Message in a Bottle? Season 6?
No, like 4
or 5.
4 or 5, yeah.
Well, it's near the middle or last half of Voyager, so that doesn't make a lot of sense.
But they say, I believe they say, I mean, I'm pretty sure Hope and Fear, they say we've sent ships, and that's before.
Isn't there a Prometheus class in the last episode in Endgame? Yeah. So that means that there was probably more built. So.
Oh god, I mean the thing is beautiful. They have to build loads of.
It could have been that they actually did send one, but like a year or two before Voyager got back, on its way, but it wouldn't have made it very far.
I just mean it can't be before Mission in a Bottle, which was season 4, episode 14, because that was the season Prometheus. 4, and you don't build 10 of a class before leaving out experimental, like to be ready to be sent out. There might be space frames, but they're nowhere near ready. Right, I have to find.
It was still in an accident. It was on a test shakedown.
That was how that's how they got it, because it had a few crew and it was testing. Right, let me see if I can find the quote, because you'd have to be even like, I get it's a fast ship, but they've now made
ship. You haven't heard of the Millennium Falcon?
It's true. It's somewhere in the galaxy. It was in First Contact, so I don't know why they couldn't just take it. But it is a fastest ship in the fleet, so yes, that would be a ship to send. But can you imagine having just finished a Prometheus class, but you say, hey, do you want to volunteer for a 30-year mission to catch up with Voyager? Maybe, but if it ever jumps, you're stuck in the Delta Quadrant. Like, what a shitty assignment. Because it's moving, like, you're not meeting them anywhere, and you have no way of talking to them after that, because there's never an inclination they ever talk to any ships en route. It was never implied. Right, let me see when I can find the ships en route. Because I think it's a message in a bottle in the fake message that there was a real message. I can't remember.
I think so, yeah. Sergeant Montgomery, Will Wheaton crossover. You could definitely bring Will Wheaton as one of the like travelers into this. Sure, absolutely. It would actually be good for the show Prodigy, because he kind of was a prodigy back in his day. But Trek or not, Alexa, stop.
Okay. Timelines help. This helps me a lot. So weirdly though, that was the end of season 6. They mentioned the ships.
Okay. So
it is after Prometheus. That's good. So Admiral Hayes says that Starfleet's redirected 2 deep space ships towards Voyager and supposed to rendezvous in 5 to 6 years. Okay, so it could be a Prometheus. That is 2 years. That'd be ample time to build. Oh, they had to be, because we see it. Okay, so it could be one of those ships. I thought that was before. Yeah. Well, that's good.
That would mean it's the Federation side of the Delta Quadrant. So people are all up in arms about why are there ships in the Delta Quadrant. They're just barely in the Delta Quadrant.
Because 6 years is nowhere. Although 6 years at 9.9995 is real quick. Okay.
I forget how fast the
oh no, it's 9.99. Because everyone's 9.95. Yeah, it's specifically that it hits the second 9. Yeah, and that was a prototype.
Yeah. Trek or not, though, says Kim was bound to have gotten an accelerated promotion on return to Earth, maybe to Lieutenant Commander, as he wasn't promoted on Voyager due to limited opportunities in the command structure. Yeah, I mean, time served. I mean, I think you get a bit of a jump there. So, Ozzy, I don't think is that high. Ozzy's like 9.99999999999. I'm gonna say no. So yeah, I mean,
boy, dates are important, Stuart. You really got to go back and look.
Yeah. Do you have a timeline up right now? Like, is it like a graph?
No, I just had to Google the Googling.
Oh, I'm just gonna say if you could put it in the window for people to see, but if it's nothing visual, that's fine.
Yeah. And it's quite a famous quote, because obviously they jumped. They jumped what they could do. Okay.
Sergeant Montgomery says, but remember, that's not the real Kim or Naomi Wildman.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
So then, okay, so they rearranged 2 deep space and a Prometheus shore. Let's say it's deep space. So,
Also, we don't know what caused this temporal anomaly. Is it artificial? Was somebody trying to save Chakotay, let's say, and created it?
They save him from what?
To save him from the future and being captured. They're trying to lock onto him, and it opened up in the wrong time, or it just had a side effect that it was like a predestination paradox.
Yeah,
they're trying to
save him from the anomaly by making the anomaly.
Yeah, save him at the end of the season, which opens the anomaly in the wrong time, which causes this whole thing to progress, which you needed to have happen in order to realize that you needed to create the time device to go back and save, or to go forward and save Chakotay. We don't know if it's a natural phenomenon. We don't know if it is an artificially created one. It just said a temporal anomaly opened.
Well, how many natural time anomalies have we ever seen in Trek that are not created?
I have no idea.
I don't any. Like wormhole, yes. Time hole. I don't know if I don't know if I can think of any naturally.
Maybe that's a Googleable thing.
Jesus Christ. Okay.
Zango76. Everyone keeps talking about Harry Kim not getting promoted, but in 7 seasons and 4 movies, Data couldn't become a full commander. Not time to take the commander test. Yeah, I mean, yeah. Everybody complains that Samuel hasn't been promoted yet. It's been 8 years. Riker was a commander for 7, at least. He denied some promotions for sure, but, you know, everybody kind of accepts or gets the chance for a promotion only ever so often. So, and you can refuse it. As Samuel has refused all 15 of the offers I gave him to be captain. He likes being the commander, so it's fine.
Yeah. But I'm pretty sure they were all created anomalies. Especially since it's if you make a time anomaly to orbit of a planet, the chances of that, you know, I mean, obviously this could be the 1 in a trillion chance, but to appear so let's say, because we know Protostar hit a nebula. They say nebula. I believe nebula. Now then anomaly happens. They get pushed here. The chances of it finding a planet that was already found by Starfleet in a different quadrant that is not where we're from was more capable and in their atmosphere. I mean, that has got to be artificial and targeted. Because that's so... But then again, that could be the 1 in a trillion chance. What if it's a temporal Cold War event? You know? What if
I like that. I like that a lot.
Yeah. What if it's Sphere Builders 2.0 and they say, hey, actually, that would be shockingly possible. They say we want to kill Starfleet. Well, we can't do it as they never can. Let's get the Solomaites to then do this anomaly, to get pissed, take a ship back, use it as his weapon testbed, use it against Starfleet and kill Starfleet.
Yeah. I mean, I'm just looking up time travel in Star Trek. I mean, cause and effect, when the Bozeman came through, that I think was a natural phenomenon. That's never really explained.
But that's not time travel. That's a time loop that one was stuck in. They undid it. I know what you mean.
But the Bozeman had to come from the past to the future.
But it was time looping itself for 80 years, wasn't it?
Oh yeah, I think you're right.
It was in a time loop in the Enterprise. It's called in a time loop where it comes out. Or is it?
That's still a natural phenomenon of that area of space. It's still time relative.
But it wasn't time. It caused a time travel, but it wasn't a direct then to now. Unless it was a singular then to now jump.
Yeah.
Because you can't achieve time travel and a time loop at the same time. That would be silly.
That's too much use of the word time. Black hole created by red matter, fine, artificial. Red angel suit,
yep.
Shut the fuck up. Chrono deflector, that's artificial. Temporal vortex created by the Borg,
artificial.
The Nexus, natural, but
also not time travel.
Yeah. Well,
you can use it.
You can decide whenever you come back in the timeline. But so whoever's in it can choose when they come back.
But it's not just. But that's not. Although Dan does say Enterprise C, that is time travel. That is a genuine time vortex. So that I would.
Yes.
But that also changes time.
That was a result of Klingon or Romulan weapons fire.
Oh.
It initiated something in the wherever they were.
Well, in Devron system. Not that time.
Yeah. So that one was helped on. It wasn't specifically.
It weakened space enough to cause it. But that's pretty close. But
slingshot effect is accidental, but still natural, kind of.
No, that's natural. Just you got to do it yourself.
Orb of Time, created by the Prophets.
Yep.
Guardian Forever, Temporal Transporters, Time. Yeah.
But I think the sea is probably the only one that would be close. But then at that same token, would the Tholian Rift count for the Defiant? Because I did go back in time. Or is it... Because we know that our timelines are synced up because of Mirror. So that did send them back in time in their universe. It's not as if the universes are... They were in the same space, it also went back in time. But that was obviously created artificially.
Yeah.
So basically, we've sold to ourselves it has to be an artificial wormhole, black hole, space anomaly.
Sergeant Montgomery says Voyager found that miniature wormhole that turned out to be a time anomaly to talk to Romulan 20 years in the past. That's true. There's also the atmosphere of the planet from the sound of her voice that disrupted the signals in DS9.
Yes.
All right, so the chances of a naturally forming time anomaly are not unheard of, for sure. Certain convergence of things can
wait, hold on. Are you seeing the chance of a temporal anomaly and that convergence factor is only one small step to a time heist of a long way from home that you might get while being on duty if it calls about
for hours at warp or something. Yeah,
it does take hours of warp to go to temporal anomaly to converge about a doomsday machine fight, which I called something.
Yes, a convergence of things can create a temporal anomaly.
I'm gonna have so many names though that I'll basically be able to do anything. At a certain point, I'll have all the names.
The chronogamy device, yes, from Lord X. Yep.
Oh God.
That was in a story.
Shut up, whoever said that. Yeah, Mark.
That was
good.
Mark Lawrence.
You shut up.
You just told Mark Lawrence to shut up. You told the president to shut up. You're in trouble now, sir.
Yes, sir.
This is why he will never achieve the rank of captain, because he's pissed off the president, and it's in his permanent file that he'll never be able to be captain. There you go. Problem solved. Samuel will never be promoted.
Okay, so if it is artificially created, even accidentally, is it truly an accident, as in the protostar did a thing, maybe it was being chased by a Klingon ship, it activates prodrive inside nebula, really shouldn't have, and that triggers it? Or is it, but then again, if the chance of it appearing here, or maybe, okay. Hey Brandon, what if there was a tiny temporal anomaly, like crack sort of anomaly, and someone sends out a stress call. Protostar picks it up, they find it, and their proto-drive like reacts with it in a nebula, expands it, they get pulled in. So that's why it's targeted. It's kind of a chicken and egg, and that brings it through and activates it. What do you think?
Yeah, but that's kind of like goes back to the predestination. Like it has to link in with the protostar in some way.
What do you mean?
Sorry, you were cutting out there. So.
Oh.
Retell me what you said.
Yeah,
because I heard protostar and then.
Okay. I said, what if there is a tiny time anomaly hole micro in orbit of Solom, as we see here, and a distress call from one of the factions goes through it, and its protostar picks up in our present, but their proto-drive like triggers it to form fully. It gets sucked in, and that explains why it's so close to Solom. Sort of an accident on both fronts, but it's so tiny, it's kind of microscopic.
Yeah, no, that's fine. Then that ties in with the protostar, which is what I was saying. That's what I thought you said.
Right.
So yeah, I mean, but then that's a natural anomaly again. And Dan makes the point of saying too, there was a planet in Voyager that went at a different speed. That was natural. That was a natural phenomenon on that planet.
That's not time travel. That's differential.
I know, but
time.
It's still time. It's still chrono related.
Yeah. But we weren't talking about specifically.
Yeah.
No, it's exciting because I mean, what a beautiful anomaly, and the big clinch I have, I should have mentioned this a while ago. It was stable for what we could assume was days. That's a hell of an anomaly. That doesn't normally happen. And it was destabilizing only when the revs were traveling through. Why?
Yes.
Why?
Was it closing? Did they say it was closing? That's why they sent the revs through?
I don't think so.
I don't think so either. So they started going through it. That's when it started to collapse. Could be that there's too many ships going through.
Is the assumption.
Yeah.
But the Protostar made it through, wasn't collapsing, so it would take too long to suddenly get everyone to their ships and launch. Maybe there's a third twist that Chakotay was able to send something to disabilize it.
Yeah.
And then
something in the wake of the Protostar that.
Yes, in the wake of it. That I like. Yeah.
I mean, that's a possibility, sure.
Because, I mean, you said this previously, sending a Protostar out anywhere, real risky. Anybody finds it.
Yeah. Maybe the reason it collapsed is because it was, like I said, it's Starfleet tech. Starfleet time travel tech. And as the Protostar is going through, the construct, with it hitting the deflector shields, affects it because it's Starfleet-related tech. And that's why it closes.
Oh,
dun, dun, dun.
That's interesting. Like an automated shaking hand signal.
Yeah,
with version tech.
It's interacting with the shielding and the deflector shields. So,
interesting.
Could that be the case? I don't know. Probably not, but still interesting enough to mention.
So it could be a Starfleet time tech thingy. Interesting. I don't know, but is that too much? Is it better if it's random, or is it better if it's?
I think it's better if there's a reason for it and it's artificially created in some way, either intentionally or by accident. But just a natural one, it happens to show up around Solon at the time that Chakotay needs to send the ship back in time. It just seems, doesn't need to send it back in time, but it's a good opportunity. It just seems kind of weird for it to be random, natural occurrence. You know what I mean?
But I mean, it could be the 1 in a billion, 1 in a trillion, random. And lots of stories are told with those. But let me do a plot. Let me do a poll, Stuart. Otherwise, we're quite far in. You can do a spiel. I'll do a poll.
Yeah, well, spiel time. 43 guys here. 43 peoples. You're not really all guys. You're dudes. You're friends. You're Trekkies. There you go. 43 of you here. 34 likes. Hit that like button. Let's try to get up to 50 likes. We're very late on super chats. We're almost at halfway point of the live, and we're nowhere near even a quarter of our. Well, yeah, we're nowhere near a quarter of our minimum. So if you guys can super chat, we'd really appreciate it. Just a couple, just to say, give us a theory, or just say, there you go, support for the channel. Whatever you can do would be greatly appreciated. Don't forget there is that join button as well. So if you want to join the channel, Sergeant Montgomery just got his 2-year badge today. I can't believe there's been 2 years of the join option. It seemed like yesterday we realized that was a thing, and we're talking about it. But anyway, so if you want to join the channel, consider doing so.
And each of those additions help keep the channel going 1000%. So yeah.
And Brandon Carell puts in $10 and says, "Hi, Cap." Thank you so much, Brandon. Much appreciated.
BEA beautiful. There's my comment to you.
So the poll is up. Go vote on it, all of you. Do you want the time anomaly to be created by someone, random and naturally created by Starfleet, or created by the Protostar? I think it's going to link to the Protostar. Actually, you know what? It might even be linked to, or be tied in with Murphin somehow, because Murph, who is a melanoid slime worm, which they're aware of, is evolving, and I've kind of speculated that perhaps the proto drive has influenced his DNA. That's why he's evolving, and they haven't seen this before, because you think Janeway would have mentioned something that, what he could turn into. So could it be that the reason Murph is evolving so quickly is because Murph is linked to this time distortion. So he's basically thousands of years of evolution are happening in a very short amount of time for him. That would be neat. And it's all linked to the proto drive. The proto drive is the main source of the whole problem, which is a new technology. I'm not quite sure what would happen as a result of using it. So just saying, could be a thing.
Not just that, but what if there was a Murph, or if Murph specifically was on Solemn, hitched a lift on the Protostar, went back in time, the anomaly changed him as well, and he ended up on the planet where he was, because he walked off, slimed off, and then, like you say, is now evolving and will eventually help get them back, because maybe he has temporal coordinates for the future, or something of the ilk.
I think he's going to be the main. I think the name the show name being called Prodigy, I think is referring to Murph. I think Murph his final form is going to be like a super intelligent sentient being that's maybe going to turn into the Great Koala. I don't know.
Okay, Koala.
Yeah. So.
Fair me.
Well, Area 51
yes.
throws in $5, just saying hey to support the team. Thank you so much. That all means a lot. So thank you.
All of the much. Because Prodigy don't make many views, so it's really punishing to the ad revenue. Basically none. So this stuff's even more important.
And Ozzy, $5. Murph is now Federation president.
Oh my god! That's an impressive upgrade. My goodness, from Slug to Baby Groot to that. Oh my god, Stuart.
To an ad, yeah. That was quite the evolution, right? To an ad. Holy crap! The most advanced form of life. Ads.
But the side note, I'm wondering, this is Murph has to have a role besides the cute, right? Something. Wouldn't it be nice if the very simplicity of, because Murph is obviously very, very capable of just stuff. What if Murph is the way they use Murph in conjunction with the Spore Drive? Not Spore Drive, fuck. Freudian slip there.
Samuel.
Fuck.
I was like, how are we bringing Discovery into this now? Mycelial Network
no.
and Proto Drive?
No. Down boy, no. What if, no. Murph, they need to use whatever Murph is to allow them to go from the Proto Drive into an alternate universe drive, a la, they know how to create a time anomaly again because they work out the logs, but it has to be one to go into their timeline, the one that's now been aborted, which is a hell of a thing to do. So Murph is that way. Simple, been there the entire time.
I like it. I like it a lot because Murph is quite unique as a critter. So
yeah.
Who knows what capabilities he has?
Because you've got Gwen, who is now has biology from an alternate timeline, but also created in our timeline. So she has a unique biology. But you should be able to get her the temporal signature of that universe from her, you'd think. And then if she like connects with Murph, and Murph can do something, use that to channel power through the Proto Drive, and then time whatever, or even if you want to go real simple, really really simple, is Zero smart enough to time warp?
Possibly.
Well, although he's not he's a medical person. Is Rock-Talk smart enough? Maybe that's the genius that she has.
Maybe it's a combination of all of them and all of their skills.
Yes. Yeah. I could buy that. They're all prodigies, yeah. Yeah. So you use Murph to charge the Pro Drive to target where you're going. You use the Pro Drive itself and the calculations of all of them to fly the drive around the sun to go back and forth in time. And Gwen is able to talk to the people. Yeah, that feels relatively organic.
And Val will lead them along the way. Just barking orders. But yeah, Rock-Talk could figure out the science behind it. Zero could do the navigation even through time because they are renowned navigators.
Yes.
So
yes, that's good. I like that.
Yeah. Jasper Jedi, $10.
Ah, thank you.
I think it is likely that the Proto Drive was accidentally or by sabotage the cause of the anomaly. Yeah.
Sabotage is interesting. I'm getting vibes of Lost in Space, where they Yeah, exactly. I mean, that's... Yeah, maybe Tal Shiar or Section 31 wanted the proto drive, and they sabotaged a ship to try and get it, not realizing that, boy, it did not do what they thought it did. Yeah, that's... Yeah, I like that. That's got some weight to it. Is that more interesting, though, if it all becomes sort of a Federation ploy, even accidental ploy? Because it depends how... It depends if you really want it to be truly the 1 out of a billion randomness or a deep, dark plan. I don't know.
Well, I don't want Section being brought up. That's all.
Yeah.
Anything but that. Sergeant Montgomery, though, $5. I believe it's a byproduct created by the Protostar's Protodrive. Also, thank you for all the videos. I enjoy all the Trek chat and more. Thank you very much, Sergeant Montgomery.
We love having you here.
Yeah, a side effect of the Protodrive. I mean, we've kind of speculated on a few things like that over the course of the show, so...
it's the easiest way to explain accidental is prototype ship. It kind of is in the territory. God, imagine if this drive can create wormholes. Oof.
Well, it doesn't seem it does seem likely, is what I mean to say.
I'm not dunking, I'm saying what a power. I mean.
Yeah, I know.
Although the fact they're random, if they are random where they go, that's not a good power to have.
Yeah.
Wow, you created one. Although, ProStar, Season 6, just to go to the future discovery. Yeah, the ultimate timeline of the 31st century.
32nd.
Yes?
32nd. Anyway, we kind of speculated on that early because we thought there's some definite Kelvin vibes going on. So we thought the Protostar might be from the Kelvin universe or whatever. Don't think that's the case here, obviously, now. But there's still those weird Kelvin-esque transporters. There's the Kelvin hints of music every once in a while. The look of the Protostar. The difference in the technology on board. It's... Yeah, so Protodrive was mentioned very early on as maybe a possible course of something like that, dimensional shifting or whatever. Jasper Jedi throws in $5.
Thank you.
I say sabotage because Prodigy is pretty tad Trek, so I don't think mainstream Starfleet would be behind it on purpose. Pretty tad Trek. What do you mean? I think that's a spelling mistake, but I don't know what you mean.
If it's pretty bad Trek, I disagree. So I hope it's not that.
I hope it's not that either. I don't think so. Mech 1164, $5.
Thank you.
Watch Daniels shows up to explain why all this had to happen. Yeah, see, temporal Cold War is definitely any time travel could be a result of that. Even the time loop from Cause and Effect could be a residual effect of a time jump from the temporal Cold War that just left a residual whatever around and created a small time loop. Traditional Trek. Gotcha.
And that's actually really interesting as well, the idea of whatever you just said. I short-term memory that right out of my brain. My God.
It was about cause and effect in the temporal loop.
No. Oh, Daniels. Yeah, I mean, Daniels showing up would be just hella ballsy, and
I would love that.
And him not aging, not a problem in this kind of show. Oof, that'd be a ballsy move right there.
It'd be funny if he shows up with Archer.
Oh,
no, we weren't supposed to come here. I'll have to erase this from your memory. What's going on?
Oh my God! If this is just Enterprise Season 5. Holy shit. I mean, that would be pretty freaking sweet. Let's be honest. That's so dumb. I love it.
Yeah.
Dear me. I like it a lot.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know, man. When you start playing with time travel and things like that, there's so many possibilities and ways to get out of it. It's almost hard to predict
for sure.
Which way they're going to go with it. They obviously had a story worked out. They have it well planned out and plotted. I mean, I'm really applaud them for their ingenuity and their writing. I got to be fair. Prodigy guys have done a fantastic job. So
But also, they keep burning through plot now that I keep saying, where is the end game? Because planning
it's at the end of Voyager.
Or Marvel. They have good Marvel. No. Because, how do they actually... With a show this thoroughly planned, they obviously want more seasons. Trek used to go 7. 7's a lot of episodes. They can't burn through an entire plot within the 2 they've commissioned, but if they have such intricate plot and get cancelled, then that is the end of the plot. So what a risk,
Maybe this time anomaly is going to link to season 5 of Discovery. Discovery decides they want to go home. They try to open up a time rift to the past. Don't quite get the time right, but it's close enough to their own time. And as they were about to go through, all of a sudden it collapsed for some reason, and just a Rev 12 appears in front of them, or a Rev ship. And it's like, oh, hi, what's going on?
I'd rather have that not be the case, I'll be honest.
I mean, me too, but...
And also, like I keep saying, that's an alternate timeline, because timeline can't... If you change Endgame, you can't have Discovery Season 3. So...
Yeah.
You can't do one without the other.
Yeah. Well, we're almost at half of our minimum, guys. Amazing. Kind of caught up. We're at like halfway of the live and almost at halfway of the minimum. So a couple more super chats would be fantastic. Even if we don't get much above our minimum for this live, that would be fine too. But,
minimum for a reason, Stuart. Minimum for a reason.
Well, our minimum was a little bit higher than that, and then we had to lower it down to feel good about it being a minimum, because we were never hitting our minimum. Don't know if you remember that.
The minimum is minimum, yes.
Yeah. Anyway, any more super chats would be greatly appreciated.
Yes.
And if you haven't voted on the poll, only 29 of you have, with 48 of you here. So go vote on the poll. Let's see those poll results. See what you guys think.
I also had a question for you, Stuart, because we are running down the clock to Christmas. To wit, we're going to get a bit screwed with Prodigy being out basically at Christmas.
Yeah.
When are we doing our pre-Christmas Trekyards live that I've threatened a couple of times? Our big sort of bonanza. Obviously, we can't do it this week because this week is gone. I'm away Monday. Next week.
You want to do it? Midweek, or do you want to do it on weekend?
Well, I don't know if I have any weekends because I think they want to see family. Yeah,
I was just looking at that. Yeah.
Yeah. Because if we
midweek, we could do it like the 21st, the 20th, like right before Christmas, but before the.
But then people will have less money to super chat.
That's true. That's just a fact of life in this month.
Yes, it is.
So, whatever. I don't know.
It's like, is next week too soon? What would you guys like to see? Trekyards live. This next week or the week after? You tell us.
Tell us. When do you want to see us drunk? Every day.
Well, hey
Sergeant
now.
Montgomery. We should just drink for every super chat, regardless. Sergeant Montgomery, member for 24 months at the rank of captain. Temporal Cold War would be cool, and probably one of the evil factions that was trying to destroy and destabilize Starfleet, like the planet's culture. Ooh.
Okay.
Yeah.
But
I'm down with it.
But why the protostar being to the planet destroy the culture?
They didn't. Okay. One thing I want to point out is they did not say where they got their alien construct from, or the construct. They said it was their last one. Who supplied them with it? If it was their last one and they built it, why couldn't they build more? It seems like they were maybe given some from an unknown faction that maybe knew this was going to happen, that it was going to be disastrous first contact, or maybe we find out that somebody had their hands in the Solemn affair to make it so divided that it caused them to hate Starfleet, and they're just using this as a way for they don't get blamed for when Starfleet gets destroyed by Solemn, because
with temporal Cold War, yeah.
just the fact that they said this was their last construct that they put on the ship.
But how are these things?
That they were given some.
So the thing targets and converts. It's meant to like override and infect. So I assume the implication is it would affect dreadnoks. And I guess you target it to not affect yours. That's why is it if they're making them themselves, it's a weapon to fight themselves. So to kill the dreadnoks, fine. But if the thing can't be destroyed, how is it useful? As in making more than one. I assumed, and I'll jump back to your point in a second. I assumed that when they'd said that, like their factory had got destroyed in the Civil War, and they are too rubbish to build a new one. You know, too rubbish by the power of war. And so it's their last one. They can't build one quickly enough for the temporal anomaly to be closing. That's my assumption. Being given it is super interesting. But then again, if someone's giving it to them, it's very unlike their tech. But is it? Their ships do morph, and so is Dreadnought. But it...
Just the way they worded it. We equipped the ship with our last construct means that they can't build. How many did you have? Anymore.
Yeah.
Exactly. How many did they have? And that it's implying that they can't make any more.
Well, in fairness, they might have an antivirus to the virus very easily.
Sure they do. You'd have to if you build something like that.
Yeah. You know, if it's a WMD with a defense, whatever. Because it was more interesting when it could have been like an AI, like a computer program, like a literal, like, this is our last sentient AI. But then they just do Discovery and Picard again. Seriously. So I guess Construct kind of takes the oomph out of that.
Watch this. It's the Dreadnoughts that are actually scheming to destroy the Solarians all along.
Oh, so it's like the Cylons.
Yeah. Ozzy Maderas, $2. By saying Jenkinpog drinking game. There you go. It's like Simon Says, but we'll just say Jenkinpog. Jasper Jedi, $5.
Thanks.
I know the Cap doesn't want the Section 31, but they could explain exactly why Diviner's people hate Starfleet so much if it was actually done by Section 31. Yeah, I know. It's easy enough story thread to throw in Section 31 into this, but I'm Section 31 out. I don't need any more. Thank you.
I mean, I would buy that in the sense that there's a thing on Solemn that Section 31 knew they wanted, and as soon as
this construct.
Ooh, that's interesting. That would be, yeah, because I couldn't see the plan being send a ship to this planet, but more a case of they look for like the Omega particle. There's something in Solemn that registered to them, and there was someone on the ship that was Section 31, friendly. And they then, maybe they risked the first contact to steal it, which is interesting.
Maybe they have an antivirus for it, so they're eventually going to run into a ship that's going to.
Well, that's future them though.
Well, we don't know that.
Well, we don't know that. No, because Divine says years from now because he's here to stop it. We know years from now.
For what though?
Solon being first contacted.
Oh yeah, I know.
Yeah,
but
that's when they picked up.
I'm just saying, maybe Section 31 knew about this construct or the constructs. One of them accidentally arrived on Solemn. Wants to get it back because it can use it against the Romulans or whatever with these ongoing negotiations that are happening right now. And they actually have a antivirus for it. So even though it's targeted,
there's control.
Oh, good God!
It kind of
looks like control though. Like that's the thing. Don't do that.
Oh my God! Ugh. Control had one backup on a little floppy disk.
Exactly. Yeah.
Oh my God, that's super interesting. Because I somewhat like the idea that the Fellowship stole a thing, but the two sides of the culture blamed each other. Starfleet wouldn't do that, they're too good. No, Starfleet stole from us. They wouldn't do that. Fight. And so then it actually adds a malevolence is a bit of the wrong word, but a sense of there was a cause and genuine effect, or genuine cause and effect, versus the super innocent, we said hi, they didn't like hi, factions warred. I mean, I like the innocence of that personally, although no, like I say, no second contact. But Delta Quadrant, everything's deliberate. You can't just send a ship out for second contact without spending potentially 5 years to go there. You have to be on the second contact route. But we know that's around Picard when obviously they were dealing with weird Picard logic, so there's obviously no ships available. You'll have to be recalled to go to Romulus, I guess. It's interesting stuff, Stuart, my pal.
It is, and there's a lot of ways they could write this story, and we've covered a lot of them, actually. Trekyards says Construct could have been what caused the androids in Picard to turn on them and set Mars alight. Dun dun dun.
That's an interesting get a jail free.
Yep.
Ooh, do we like that? Do we like that?
No.
Oh, interesting.
Again, it's got potential. It could be great, but I know that they would screw it up somehow. To link to Picard is just, please don't. But
oh my god. Because we've still had no reason for that to happen, really. But the thing is, once they... I mean, this obviously is already a time-travelling show, but if they were to cut to 10 years in the future, or 6, whatever this is, would that not then devalue the present? Because then what is the present? Now or then? Especially as everything they're doing now is changing then. But if we show that happening, then we know that there is a then. We know there's a solid point. I guess Picard, is that point, but... Or...
my brain hurts.
Actually, no, that's actually really interesting. That would genuinely... Yeah, what if the Protostar in Season 3, multi-season plot, Season 1 and 2 is about doing this plot. What if in Season 3, they accidentally get thrown 10 years in the future, a construct gets loose, causes the AI fuck-up, they get to deal with Picard's situation, and they jump back. So they do actually cause Picard. I think if you say it that way around, because they trigger another temporal anomaly, that could be really interesting, especially if like Janeway's there as well. And maybe
fuck up that is Picard.
What and yes, but not even just that. In fact, if it's actually they are wanting to save and find Chakotay, so maybe they attempt to, but the time jump takes them not far enough, and the construct gets loose. Easy as that.
Damn. I like Sergeant Montgomery's suggestion. Peanut, Hamper, and Agamus escape the self-aware megalomania computer storage through a temporal anomaly, and are the creators of the construct. Getting their revenge on Starfleet. Dan says Star Trek on social media posted a picture of a wormhole with the caption that read, "Truth is never black and white."
Huh.
Confirmation that the aliens from Let This Be Your Last Battlefield are returning. Half black, half white. Dun dun dun.
Let's confuse the modern audience with how I'm meant to feel about this. Dear me.
Mech, 1164. When is this? Now, sir. What are we watching? Now, sir. How can we watch it? That's from Spaceballs. They put in a copy of the movie so they can find out what's going to happen. But then they fast forward the tape to the moment they're exactly in, so it's on the screen. When does this happen in the movie? Now, sir. Now. Yes, now.
I like it.
It's a whole thing. It's hilarious.
I like it. So yeah, Drunk Yards next week, maybe, guys. That's what I'm trying to say.
Possibly, yeah.
Yes. It's nice not to have Trek shorts to worry about, or Trek shorts lives, etc.
Or an Indiegogo campaign.
That's what yeah. Boy, the lack of stress is real. It's great.
Yeah. We can do it on like a Tuesday or a Wednesday. Tuesday would probably be better because we have to get up early on Thursday.
Yep. I thought that. Yeah. Because I was thinking something and I lost it. Damn it. I brained. Anyway, yes.
I like that idea. Jank and Pog, take a shot.
Yeah.
Anybody that super chats in with Jank and Pog or something, maybe we'll figure it out.
Yes. Well, speaking of, briefly, what are Christmas plans?
Same as usual, going to Sylvia's family on the 24th. On the 25th, we have it here. 26th or 27th, I'm probably going to my dad's. Got a Christmas party for Sylvia's work this Saturday. There's a lot of shit going on. So, how about you?
We are doing. This might be my last Christmas in the house. That's kind of the vibe. So, make it a hey, we're here. See the family. Maria's agreed to be here for never for Christmas because they're each so important to our families, but the in between days. Yeah, we're going to watch Die Hard. That was Marie's suggestion. She hasn't seen it, and
she should watch it. It's not a Christmas movie though.
It shut the fuck up. It's one of the true flawless Christmas movies of all time.
# not a Christmas movie.
There's so few flawless.
This is Lethal Weapon a Christmas movie because it happens at Christmas time too. Lethal Weapon 2. Are
there Christmas themes thematic to the plot?
Yeah, the houses are decorated. There's a
Is there?
He's sneaking through. Hold on, he's sneaking through a Christmas tree lot.
But could it be a tree lot?
No, because there's no such thing. It's
exactly
Christmas time.
So maybe, but is it a flawless movie?
Lethal Weapon 2, yeah, for sure.
Okay. I assume number 1 will be more beloved.
One's good. I think number 2's better. Yeah.
How many of those were there? 5?
4? 4, I think. 4 in a TV show.
Yeah, wow.
Something like that. I don't know. There might be 5. I haven't watched the Lethal Weapon movies in forever.
Yeah. But no, I said to Marie because I've said to Marie, that's a lovely pick. That's obviously for everyone else to enjoy. I said you pick a Christmas film that we've not seen that we can watch for your stuff. She likes Disney and such. So we've seen the Disney ones, but something of the ilk. I'd like to edit a Star Wars film between the Christmas and New Year, but given that we have obviously some time, still have to do work on set days. The holiday.
January pretty much free.
Is there a break between Picard and Prodigy?
Picard doesn't start till February 16th, and I think Prodigy is going to be done the first week of January.
So 1 week.
No, a month. First week of January, Prodigy's done.
But that takes a week of releases, so I'll get to the 10th, 15th.
And February 16th is when Picard starts.
February. I thought it was January. Sorry.
No,
I heard February. January for both. Oh, right. Oh, yeah. Okay. Oh, that's nice.
Yeah. A little bit of a break. We can just do random lives. And I want to do a Drunkyards in January as well. This is our Christmas thing, showing off our Christmas stuff and all that shit.
Yeah. We can get some heavy hitter ships out. I mean, maybe.
Ring ship.
Exactly. Yeah. No, yes, that's a great idea.
Oh my God. I'm so excited. That could be my Christmas gift.
In January, yeah, sure.
That's fine.
Yeah. Great. That's awesome. Because it's so nice not to have just swings and roundabouts for not having new content. We could always attempt. I know I've got a big old fan film I'm doing in January because they've sort of said, do it. I'm like, I'm sorry. I'll do it in January and February and some of March. I've got 2.5 month booking of one film, which is going to be sucky because it's a big film. I don't want to do it. Don't tell them I don't want to do it, really. But hey ho. But we could always attempt our Let's Don't Talk About It show that we've not done for 5 years and see if it. The one we just talked about really recently. Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
If we've got a month, not free by any means, but as a test bed.
There's scripts written. There's shit ready.
Yeah. Just got to get your microphone in a better place so it doesn't have the ambiance from your computer, which would be unacceptable for that sort of show. Yes. But that's okay. You could just bring it upstairs and do it on the sofa. It's not visual. It's not video. It's just audio for us, so it'd be kind of fine to just film on your sofa. Legs up. Like a radio DJ.
Use my phone. It's got a really good... especially if it's near the mic.
Yeah, but there's really good and there's really good. I mean, this can be crystal clear. I get what you mean, but anyway, Christmas plans. What are you guys doing for Christmas? But I'm very aware that Marie wants to spend time with me, so I can't just do Star Wars. But I'd like to do one of the films. I'd like to edit one. That'd be fun.
Mm-hmm. Who would want to spend time with you? Has Marie ever been checked out for like mental illness or anything?
No, but she's definitely on the spectrum in some way.
Oh, okay.
I mean,
I think we all are in some way.
Well, if you cop out like that, yes.
Yeah, and then Mandalorian season 3 starts February 22nd, right after Picard. Then after Picard, chances are we'll probably get Strange New Worlds season 2. Discovery will be a little bit after that, and then we'll get Lower Decks in September-ish.
Yeah.
And Prodigy back around November, December.
It feels like we know the batch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So. And yes, Strange New Worlds will be before Discovery, because Discovery just wrapped up filming, guys. They filmed season 1 and 2 of Strange New Worlds back to back.
Days apart, yeah. I mean, that's been wrapped for months now.
Yeah.
They've had time to do other things, which is odd then. They wouldn't necessarily have commissioned season 3. And I know for a fact they haven't commissioned Prodigy season 3 yet, which annoys me. Because, there's always did they really commission it without knowing, but I know they haven't actually commissioned it yet. Which worries me, because
yes.
I'd like it to get more. But it's more expensive than
Well, there's 40 episodes in 2 seasons, and it's one story. So it could be over after season 2, honestly.
That's what I mean. But you don't plan a Trek show with only 2 seasons in mind, though.
Well, with 40 episodes, though, that's 4 seasons of a regular Star Trek
But
show.
they're only half as long, though.
That's also true. Shut the fuck up.
So there's only 2 seasons of a real show, or,
but it's so much
or
better.
1 season of TNG, Stuart. It's less than 1 season of TNG.
Yeah.
Done
it's
over
so much
2.5
better
years.
than, like, Picard or Discovery.
Yeah. Oh, I know.
Plus, we've always said what's going to happen once Starfleet gets the wrangle on the ship. It's going to go back to Starfleet. The kids won't be on board. So what's the show going to be about?
Them in the Academy?
Starfleet? Yeah, I mean...
It's the same show, Mo. They asked the Starfleet Academy show. This is the prequel to that show.
That'd be great. If this show was a Starfleet Academy show, I'd be down for that.
That'd be kind of quirky, yeah.
It's like a Beast Wars, 3 seasons of Beast Wars, and then became Beast Machines, which is a kind of a different show. There were 2 seasons of that, but they were considered like one, but different. Same characters. I don't know. Maybe. We've solved it.
Because I'm just worried, because I know that they are very far through season 2, and this is not the sort of show that you want to let the team go and work on other things, because they don't recommission for season 3 before they finish season 2. Then you can't commission season 3 for a while, or you have new people, and this team's a good team. You need to commission it while they're still there.
They're a great team.
Same with Lower Decks. They got them commissioned. They're doing for a while, but we never got them. But it's the cheapest of the shows, so it's able to be done so. It's like with Terry Metalis. Like, he's working on something else right now. Conceptually, he's not necessarily fully tied down, but he is on another project right now. And it's like, if that thing goes ahead, well then he can't do, Yeah. That's why it's good to... Yeah.
And Dan, yes, I've watched the first episode of Transformers or Spark. Only 3 episodes out right now, and it's all right.
What's this?
Not sure how I feel about it yet.
What's this, Stuart?
Oh, there's a new Transformers show called Transformers or Spark on Paramount Plus.
Okay.
Yeah, it's kind of got Transformers Prime vibes, but not quite as good.
Okay.
Sylvia's in the chat and says, "Is 12 inches too big?" No, 12 inches will be just great, hon. It's up to you on the size, whether you want the 10 inch or the 12 inch. And before you all get your mind in the gutter, we're talking about a new frying pan. So you guys all relax. I know where your mind went. Especially you, Samuel.
And just, I think he's not telling the truth. I think this is a bullshit claim.
Misha, good afternoon. I haven't had time to catch up on Star Trek Picard. Lucky man. So I am not going to listen now. Oh, Star Trek Prodigy, STP.
Oh, Stuart.
So I can enjoy it over the holiday. Oh well, we're just theorizing. We're kind of done with the theorizing. We're just chilling now. Misha, throw in a super chat.
Oh.
You know you want to.
Oh. The gauntlet has been thrown. The challenge set. Well,
he always throws in super chats during my late night lives.
Yes.
It's good to see you here.
Yes.
Frying pan in the bedroom. Kinky. Nice. Yeah. Yes. Thanks, Misha. You guys all have such a poor opinion of me.
We've met you.
You don't know how that happened.
We've met you. What do you mean?
Misha hasn't met.
No, they've met you online. It counts. We can get enough sense of who exactly you are.
Non-stick is important in this case, Dan. Yes. That can be taken either way as well. Wow, this is like a late night live. What the hell's happening?
I mean, good for us. We like those. You
got to join me for a late night live sometime. It's kind of what our drunkyards are, but we never quite go down the roads that I do.
Yeah, obviously that'll be one of those things where I commit to go to bed at 7 a.m. Because be awake enough to have fun at 3, I have to go to sleep at 6 or 7. So
yeah.
So basically, I've just given up my. I mean, but just, yeah, it's a hell of a thing to do. It's like I have Emma, our Trek actress. She's got a thing with America at 1, so she woke up at like 2 p.m. Which for me is quite not normal, but like that's pushing where I wake up to. I was like, she said, "I'm sorry, I just woke up." I'm like, "Oh my god, you woke up late. That's a me thing to do." Oh my god, Trekyard.
Okay, everybody knows me too well. I'll just be quiet now.
You reveal so much of yourself. Dear me.
54 likes. Has anyone not hit the like button yet? If so, hit it. We're $20 away from half of our minimum. So one great super chat would be awesome.
That is true. 120 would get us to half a minimum. A half is good. We like a half. Half is half the battle. G.I. Joe. No? It's not quite.
It is G.I. Joe.
Okay.
Yeah, knowing is half the battle.
There you go. Oh, I know.
Okay.
It's just funny. Oh, my God.
Difficult to top the shirtless moments of Trekyards After Dark. There hasn't been many of those. Shut the hell up. I think there's been more prime time shirtless incidents than late night ones, which is weird.
Interesting.
At the time Foley got his bizarre collector's at. Oh, good God. Misha, $10. Okay, fine.
Yes. Trace only 5 away from that good number, which we love. But let's look at the poll as well. I'm interested to see what you guys think. 49 votes. Vote right now, guys. Make it 50. We'd love that. Our poll was, do you want the time anomaly to be created by someone, random, naturally created by Starfleet, or by the protostar itself? And we actually do have a decent little win there. Created by the protostar or random. Those are the 2 highest bids. Someone in general. But least interest is Starfleet itself, which I actually agree with. So yeah, protostar itself. Self-made. Oops.
Yeah.
That's fair.
Like it.
Yeah.
And Misha's like, many. It happened twice this year because of me alone. Yeah, I said like a couple nights ago on a live, I'm like, $100 super chat and I'll take my shirt off. Yep. And Misha, who's been blind since birth, threw in $100 and says, there you go, guys. I don't have to look at it. So he tortured all of the Trekyardians, not himself.
I mean, when you are able to give joy in the form of pain,
some people are into that.
Some people, yeah. And that
Sergeant
sounds
Montgomery,
like what they did for you.
Sergeant Montgomery, $2. Here's a temporal strike snipe. Oof. Oh. Wow. Didn't he drink something once that had cannabis? Well, I have some. It's called Baker Street. It's a ginger ale that has THC in it. I don't like drinking it because it makes me super fucking tired. Good to relax and just go to bed, but I did not do that on a live, no. Protostar could have made it by accident, and Starfleet could have been using it as an experiment. Ooh. Protostar had another purpose that Starfleet was aware of, or perhaps even just Section 31. They co-opted this new ship to for their own means. So it's happening as a side effect when the kids are using it because they're not aware of it. I like that. Dan, that's great. Misha says I was told he looked like Murph. Not quite. I'm not as colorful as Murph. So.
And just what I'd ask for clarification on the last poll, wouldn't Protostar be included in Starfleet? Not necessarily. I mean, the idea was just it itself as a specific choice. Starfleet meaning the Starfleet body, not actually literally anyone in Starfleet. I think that was clear enough from the polls, Joe.
I think so too. And yes, Eric, it is. It's called Baker Street, which I love because I'm a Sherlock Holmes fan. So I don't know why it's called Baker Street, but it is.
It's just so interesting, and given, I mean, this pitch, I keep staring at it 'cause it's just a good shot, but the Revs are giant. This thing is giant. I mean, it makes them look ants. This is a insanely giant thing. Is that implying in any form it's able to move something bigger?
The thing is, it could be a natural phenomenon by the size of it, but it could also be that large to accommodate a whole fleet of ships to go through and invade or whatever.
Temple Cold War.
Yep.
I would love to see Daniels though, either way, to pop up just to say, guys, you know that they were never meant to come through, but you did things that did things, and now we have these people. Because if you're really using Trek canon, you'd really want Daniels involved in some way. Obviously, then you'd create a link to the future directly, but that's okay. I feel like, though, if I was in the writer's room of Prodigy, there would be somebody who got the script to season 4 of Discovery, or 3, I mean, and they would say, well, in Discovery, they say all time travel tech got stopped. And the Prodigy writer's room would say, oh, the audience therefore thinks all time travel tech got stopped through all time, despite that not being how that works. I feel like there'd be that link of, don't do it then, you know? But that shouldn't be how that works. The time cops are still time copying, the agents are still agenting. It's just in the present of the future, no time travel. But the past of the present.
Bring in the time cops. Yes. Maybe they saw the Revs going through and they're like, we got to collapse this goddamn thing because we can't allow them to go through.
Oh, wouldn't it be great if the Duquesne actor got hired twice in 2 years? One to be guy number 2, and 2 to be actual Duquesne.
They're missing out though. They should have had him in the live action as himself.
Yep.
Whatever.
But they didn't know what they were doing. For season 2. That would be a hell of a thing, yeah. If actually you do a reverse shot and a relativity or an aeon is disrupting the thing, that'd be pretty cool. Maybe the second Protostar travel through, that's what alerted them.
Yeah. And also you got Janeway and the relativity hunting the Protostar guys. The kids. That'd be great.
And maybe if you know you're traveling into the past, maybe the artifact, what's it called? The
construct.
Thank you. Maybe it's specifically temporally shielding the ship.
Ooh.
Because, I mean, you must think there are some time cop people around. That's an easy way of blocking it. I mean, it feels that advanced. I feel like I could do that. And only when the Dauntless catches Protostar can the future people find it, because they have to find it through the Dauntless. But wouldn't that be so beautiful, though, if both Relativity and Daniel showed up?
Yes.
Like it's such a time F-up that both are trying to fix it. They both got calls separately, and it's just been classified from 20th century into the 31st century, so neither team knows the other one's looking. And you get multiple time cops. That'd be hilarious. With their different approaches.
And then the decision is made, this never should have happened anyway, because Janeway went back and screwed up decades worth of. So they reset that. So the end of Voyager never happened.
Oh God, yeah. Which resets Picard.
Yeah.
And Below Decks will happen because they're so unimportant. Nothing. They don't matter. Like that's the only thing that remains. That's interesting.
There's just timeline.
That's funny. Oh, funny. Well, anyway, guys, we're in the closing little bit. We've had a great discussion. $13 would be ace. 3 would be minimum. Help us out if you can. I mean, hey, a final snipe war of $1 would certainly.
Yeah. The $1 snipes would be awesome.
Would certainly kick some butt.
Go.
Yeah. Go. Yes.
John's Claude Van Damme Time Cop is holding up open the anomaly using the splits. Hey, mate. I mean, hey. That's another movie I haven't seen in fucking forever.
That's funny.
I feel like I want to go watch Lethal Weapon tonight. No snipe war. Nobody's sniping it with $1. Come on, guys. Hit that like button if you haven't as well. We're at 55, which is good. Let's try to get to 60. Another 5 would be awesome. $2. Oh. Pew, pew. Oh, pew, pew, pew. There's 3 shots there. Sergeant Montgomery, $1. Yay, we hit half of our minimum.
Always nice. And tune in for Stuart's live tomorrow, talking about this next episode, which who knows what can happen. I don't. Well, Diviner's going to kick butt, I guess. Yeah, okay, not predictions. Diviner's going to take over Dauntless and B-plot. As in, for the kids. Oh no, they're trapped in a holodeck, that's what they are. They've said that. Trapped in a holodeck and also take over Dauntless, leaving to the end, what, how many left? 3? 16 next
16,
week?
Yeah, so there'll be 3 left after.
Yeah. So you have 1 lead up and a 2-parter to end epicness. Oh, hey, Sideshow.
And Misha throws in $10 and says Picard season 2 was actually good. Yeah, it's quite clear that Misha is blind. That statement just clinched it. So, thank you, Misha.
Episode 1's great.
Episode 2's not that bad either.
No, it's
episode 2's with the Confederation, and then the last episode's also kind of good.
So, if only the whole season was just that 2 episodes put together.
Yeah.
Just make it a movie. Just that. No, they find an anomaly. They fix it. End of movie. Nothing else happens. Very simple. Very straightforward.
Matt Boardman, $2. Ho ho ho! Now I have a sniper gun.
Oh no. That's pretty good. It's pretty good.
Nice reference.
That's a great movie. I'm still bloody.
It is a good movie.
Still waiting for bloody Aliens to be on 4K. I know it's going to make the sets look more tacky and the rubber look more like rubber. I get it. But it's such a good movie, and 4K would be so nice. But there's so much that's done practically with miniatures that, you know, once you suddenly have a 4K version of Sigourney Weaver's model face inside a suit, illusion will be broken a bit more because you can see it's not moving. But I'm surprised. You did T2 what, 5 years ago. I mean, I guess you can only.
I don't know.
I guess you can only do your most famous movies once. I guess so. Once you do Aliens, what else has he got in the catalogue of most famous films? It'll make a lot of money on in 4K. But it's like an all-time, you know, Die Hard, T2, Aliens, 3 of the definitive of their genre need to be in 4K.
Yeah.
What other definitives are there of their genre?
Oh my God, there's a lot. I don't know, my man. Top Gun.
No, very niche genre though.
Misha, my sniper gun is a Dragunov. It is. I've seen it. And Ronan throws in €5. Ooh. Die Hard is a Christmas movie, ergo Starship Mine is the most Xmas episode.
Okay.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
I don't know what definitive of the ilk is there. I guess Starship Troopers is definitive for like grand alien shoot 'em up. Political would have to be. It's pretty pretty definitive in its own way. Truman Show, that's definitive in a mock, sort of creepy one. Back to the Future, definitive time travel film. First one's almost perfect.
Mm-hmm.
Not much wrong in the first film. Ghostbusters, definitive ghost action film, ghost action comedy.
Comedy.
I don't think you could beat Ghostbusters as an action comedy of its ilk.
Yeah. Ooh. They're going to reveal new Star Wars Jedi Survivor footage in a Game Awards this week. When are the Game Awards? Where do you watch those?
I don't know if they're streamed online or not.
Eric the Bat is Generations a Christmas movie. Yep. By the logic of Die Hard as a Christmas movie, absolutely.
Christmas is not integral to the plot, Stuart. It's in there. It has one scene. It's not. It could be anything. It could be any holiday, any people, anything. So no, it's not. You can also take out the scene and not affect the plot either. Just cut to him to Guinan and wouldn't affect the plot.
You know, Die Hard could have been a New Year's Eve party, which does that make it a New Year's Eve movie? It could have been a Halloween party. Would that make it a Halloween movie? Probably, actually.
Well, that certainly would, yes. I mean, what would a New Year's Eve hat be for them to put on the guy that they shot and put in an elevator?
Oh, a little like top hat with the year on it.
Okay, oh, yeah, it would be, yeah. If the whole building's celebrating New Year, yeah, it would be New Year's movie. Yeah, if they went to the extent they went for Christmas, yeah, 100%.
Ooh, the Game Awards are happening tomorrow, apparently. Nice.
Yeah, I look forward to the next Star Wars game. Now they've got all the Mandalorian and stuff to base off of, as in like what worked and didn't work. They can include some cool stuff.
So now we're only $25 away from 3/4 of our minimum.
That's good. That's good. Dear me, that's good. I can speak about how my filming this weekend went. It's last weekend.
Yes, how did that go?
So we filmed Time Heist, the Vija film, which was funny because it's one of the quickest turnarounds from concept to filming of any of the films. It's quite funny. Nim had some family things, so could only attend Sunday of our booked 2 days. Therefore, losing the Friday night hotel cost. But oh well, it happens more than you think. So we had to do all of the Nick and Emma stuff on the Saturday, and then all of the Nim stuff on Sunday. But Nick had to leave at like 4, and we tend to shoot until 7. So we had to sort of rush and do things in a very different order. And that we only learned the day before that we had to move everything around twice, scheduling-wise. So we got about 80% shot, which is quite a lot for how many pages, for sure. The middle entire chunk of the film is very much, them on the bridge talking to each other, but in the abstract of, yes, sir, 40%, sir, where everybody's, got their own angles and it's intercutting. So that would be very much its own thing.
Yeah.
A couple of nice combined shots, which are good. It is really rewarding, certainly, to have these actors, spouting off this very intricate, high-end, high-lore dialogue and mean it. Nim's learned enough to be able to blag a lot of this stuff. Emma mostly gets it, and Nick just gets it, certainly. So it's really fun to see them all kind of go at it and say these big, intricate... I mean, you've heard the plot line. It gets quite...
who else would just get it? Captain Foley.
He would. No, it was good. It was good. I intended to do an edit to show Nim what the hell Vija is, but her week broke apart entirely. She barely managed to make it on Sunday, so that was like a barely.
Well, she had mitigating circumstances, unfortunately.
Yeah. So at that point, she's not even going to care what Vija is. Just sort of act it as whatever it is. It's not going to. Whereas we planned a whole weekend, we could really lay into the plot and enjoy it, and it wasn't that, unfortunately. But I mean, as long as the stuff gets shot, that's fine. Just not perfect. But it's good. I liked some performances. It wasn't my favourite film to shoot, but I do think it'll come together strongly in the edit when you start to throw the other visuals in and the amount of bits and bobs. It's quite a sporadic film in the way we shift between things. So that'll be really, really fun. Actually, I need to get the Admiral's cameo or his guest star for my first scene. I mean, the first end scene, gotta do that. And it was funny, we did in one scene they're at a party, and they're drinking, and so I did act tipsy, and they did one take that was just fucking gone. So much so they improv'd half the lines, and they were terrible, but they kept going. And then in one take, on the actual scripted side, Nick did a line, improv'd another segment to the line entirely through Nim, who basically just who blanked. And I'm like loving the improv, and she turns to me and say, "Was that the line?" And I'm like, "No, Nim, he was a character." She's not the best at improving, bless her. But yeah, it was good.
Poor Nim.
Hey, she does well. But you imagine going into a room of like, Stuart, do a Dune fan film. You're like, oh fuck, what the hell is anything?
Pretty much, yeah.
Imagine trying to extrapolate and say, look at this great transmogrifying space giraffe, and you're like, that's the thing that you've told me.
Yep.
You couldn't relate to it, so.
And being surrounded by people that are so knowledgeable, it's kind of daunting.
Yep. Yeah.
Treasure Montgomery, we kind of already went over all that.
Yes.
We can't give you a summary because we had a lot of different theories, so could be many different things. Hopefully we threw out some good ideas, and you guys definitely took part in the conversation, so thank you so much. We appreciate it.
Yeah. And yeah, Stuart will see you tomorrow. I'll see you in the morning to film about things and bobs. We'll do our things. If there's no ship, we have one more ship video in the buffer, just in case, because there might not be. Hopefully there is. Hopefully. Yeah, great. Let's see if this turns out like we say, Stuart. It may do. You never know.
We can only hope.
Yes.
So until next time, he is Commander Cockings.
He is Captain Foley.
And we'll see you all later.
Bye, guys.
Bye, guys.